Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. A convicted felon was allegedly found with a stolen vehicle and a firearm in 29 Palms. On Wednesday at around 6:30 p.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies followed up on an investigation at a home in the 67,000 block of Presswood Road in 29 Palms. Deputies say they contacted Robert Jones Jr., 48, at the home. Jones was found to be a felon, convicted on weapons charges. Deputies say he was in possession of a vehicle that had been previously reported stolen out of 29 Palms. Deputies say that Jones was found to be in possession of a firearm. Convicted felons are prohibited from being in possession of any weapon or ammunition. Robert Jones Jr. was arrested on suspicion of being a felon in possession of a firearm, being a felon in possession of ammunition, and being in possession of stolen property. He is being held at the West Valley Detention Center on $30,000 bail. The primary suspect in the December shooting that killed a Yucca Valley teenager returned to court on Friday morning. Here's reporter Adeline J. Wells with an update on the case.
On Friday morning, Nicholas Lee returned to court for an early disposition hearing before Judge Sarah Oliver. Lee is the suspect in a shooting that resulted in the death of Yucca Valley teenager Michael Ramos Jr. At around 9:15 p.m. on the evening of December 21st, 2025, Morongo Basin Sheriff's deputies responded to reports of a shooting at a party in the 57,000 block of Chipmunk Trail in Yucca Valley. Deputies found 18-year-old Ramos suffering from a gunshot wound. They report that he had been involved in an argument with then 29-year-old Lee, who is accused of shooting Ramos and fleeing the scene. The Sheriff's Aviation Division located Lee hiding in the area several hours later, and he was taken into custody. Ramos was transferred to Desert Regional Medical Center in Palm Springs. He was taken off life support and died from his injuries on December 26th. At Friday's hearing, District Attorney Joseph Walsh represented the prosecution, and Attorney Antonio Bestard represented the conflict panel for Lee, who was in custody. A conflict panel is a group of attorneys in private practice assigned to criminal cases in the event of a conflict of interest with the Public Defender's Office. Bestard told Judge Oliver that the conflict panel needed additional time for research and requested a delay of the hearing until June. Judge Oliver scheduled an early disposition hearing for June 30th. Nicholas Lee is charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of attempted murder related to a second victim. He is currently held at the San Bernardino County Central Detention Center on $2,500,000 bail. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Adeline J. Wells.
In advance of their meeting tonight, the 29 Palms City Council will host a workshop for local nonprofit applicants seeking financial assistance and grants. Reporter Heather Clisby has more.
Starting at 5:15 p.m., a dozen local nonprofits will each present their plea to council for a slice of $75,000. Formerly known as the Community Development Block Grants, the now nameless grant requests total nearly $200,000. The workshop is open to the public, and the programs range from food pantries to animal welfare, special events to senior support, art events to facility upgrades. The official meeting then begins at 6 p.m. with a request for a letter of support for the Re-Enlist to Life Veteran Campus, followed by an acknowledgement of Yucca Valley's 35th anniversary, a presentation by the San Bernardino County Fire Department, and a send-off to Dr. Stone James in his final council meeting appearance as city manager. Otherwise, the agenda is slim, with no public hearings or discussion items. The meeting takes place on Tuesday, May 12th at City Hall at 6 p.m. The meeting can be live-streamed or viewed on demand via the city's website, 29palms.org. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
The meeting of the Yucca Valley Planning Commission scheduled for this evening has been canceled. No reason was provided for the cancellation. The Yucca Valley Planning Commission will meet next on May 26th. The Bighorn Desert View Water Agency meets in regular session this evening. On their agenda is a review of their quarterly investment report and their overall investment policies. The board is expected to authorize a 2.8% cost of living pay increase for their staff. They will also express their support for the special tax measure to fund road maintenance and landers. The Bighorn Desert View Water Agency meets today at 6 p.m. at their office at 1720 North Cherokee Trail in Landers. The Creative Cafe returns tomorrow morning with a workshop focused on mandalas. The Creative Cafe is a weekly drop-in art session hosted by local artist Jillian Sandell. She sets up a different creative activity each week, and this week she will be helping people design their own mandala or color in a pre-made design. The Creative Cafe is open to all ages and skill levels, and donations are accepted on a sliding scale. Tomorrow's session runs from noon to 2 p.m. at the Food for Thought Cafe in the Joshua Tree Retreat Center. And finally, a new festival will be held in the high desert this weekend, centered on the handmade medium of zines. Reporter Adeline J. Wells returns with more about the upcoming weekend of events that laud offline creativity and connection.
The inaugural Mojave Zine Fest will take place throughout the Morongo Basin this upcoming weekend. Founded by desert dwellers Natalie Raymond and Rita Lilly, the event is a celebration of the handmade, DIY craft and culture of zines, or fan magazines. The festival will begin on Friday with an opening party and reading at Mas o Menos, followed by a full day of events on Saturday at Corner 62 and 29 Palms.
Zine Fest is going to happen all day Saturday, starting with a workshop with Jillian Sandell, a local zine maker and artist, getting started with zines. And then we also have a lineup of over 20 zine makers from all across the West Coast, as far away as Washington State, and locals as well, sharing their zines and having zines and other goodies for sale at the tabling event at Corner 62. We're also having a little conversation, 1 to 2, about queer zine history, and the queer culture of zine making.
The hands-on workshop with local artist Jillian Sandell will be an opportunity for attendees to dip their toes into the world of zine making. Sandell will share projects from her own 30 years of experience and guide participants along the journey of expressing an idea through the handmade creative medium.
One of the things that is always wonderful about the world of zines is that regardless of how you view the world or how you feel that you fit into the world, you can use your voice to describe it, to share it with people.
The day-long tabling event on Saturday will feature zines spanning style and topic.
There are photography zines, there are some political and queer history zines, there are artist zines. We also have, I believe, Beyond the Last Estate, which is a literary magazine type zine, and P.O. Box Outer Space will be participating in the opening party and reading, so that is a local zine publication for writers. So it really runs the gamut.
Both founders view the launch of Mojave Zine Fest and its community support as reflective of a gradual societal shift towards events that celebrate human connection beyond the online world.
The word that I am thrilled to hear some of the younger students say a lot is analog. They're talking more and more about putting screens away and actually interacting with each other. That's becoming an important part of society. So many choices are made for us in the computer age, but when you go pick up a piece of written material with your own hands and look at it, that gives you a lot of control of choice back.
Mojave Zine Fest will take place this weekend. The opening reading will begin at 6 p.m. on Friday at Mas o Menos in Joshua Tree, followed by a full day of zine celebration on Saturday at Corner 62 in 29 Palms. All events are free to attend, though RSVPing is recommended. For a full list of the festival events or to RSVP, visit the link in this story at Z107.7 FM.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Adeline J. Wells.
Thank you, Adeline. For more on the Mojave Zine Fest, founder Natalie Raymond will be joining Cody and me on the morning show on Friday. Tune in for more. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.